As you know, ladies give back, and this year we have partnered with Children's Hospital Los Angeles, Make March Matter. It's a special month-long fundraising campaign that takes place right in our neighborhood to support Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which is a nonprofit pediatric hospital that's ranked among the top 5 in the nation. More children receive care from Children's Hospital LA than anywhere else in our region, and we need to help them make sure they can provide all their patients with the same world-class medical care. That is why for the entire month of March, the LadyGang is raising awareness by donating 20% of our proceeds from our store to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So visit shop.theladygang.com to give back. And we have some super cute items that are up to 60% off right now in our warehouse sale. And so make March matter with us. Thank you.
Well, what is this?
Welcome to the LadyGang.
That's amazing. Say that again.
The LadyGang.
Things are about to change around here.
Each week we catch up with Hollywood's hottest girl posse, Keltie Knight, Becca Tobin, and Jac Vanek.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the LadyGang. We are so excited to be here. I'm Keltie Knight and Jac Vanek, and as you might recognize, this is usually Becca's part, but she's on maternity leave right now. We have a new nephew, baby Ford, has arrived into the world, and we're giving her as much time as she wants and needs before we annoy her with LadyGang shit again. So we have enlisted some of our famous friends and our favorite podcasters to guest host LadyGang. This is a little different. We're going to get to hear her good week, bad week, but this week we're so excited to welcome back to the LadyGang our queen, Heather Dubrow.
Yay! Thank you guys so much for having me. I love that you are together. It makes me happy to see you together. Like I wish I was sitting with you too.
I know. We usually don't. We got like this new equipment thing that I'm sure Keltie will start pressing these buttons that make different sound effects like that.
That's fancy.
Very fancy. So she's like, you have to come so we can experience it together. But it does make a difference.
Like, I think it's fun. It's fun to see Jac.
Isn't there like an applause button?
Oh my God. Okay, we're done.
Anyway. Okay, so Heather, there's so much going on with you, and we're going to get into that. But as the Keltie of this group, we have to stay to formats. We're going to start with good week, bad week. So it's time for
Good Week.
Yes, it is.
Bad Week. Oh, no.
Okay, Jac's up first.
I'm going first? Okay, my good week. Heather, I am known for being the non-exerciser of the group. I really don't like doing it. I have a lot of like PTSD from when I was like in my eating disorder age and like over-exercising. So I just like really don't like doing it. But I've turned a new leaf and I've started going to the gym and running, something that I've never done in my entire life before. Wow. But I was like, you know what I think my body needs? Mm-hmm. It needs to run. So now, after 3 times at the gym, I consider myself a runner.
Good for you. That is good.
Wow. And so why don't you just run outside? You live on the marina. Like you feel like a treadmill is a better option for you?
Well, after my fiance and I just like did a big vacation and we're feeling like shit. He's like, he needs to get back into the gym before he goes on tour and because he just needs to get himself back into shape. So I've been just going with him. There's a gym at our apartment complex. It's really easy to go
that's
to.
Where you're going. Okay.
Yeah.
It's also, honestly, it's easier to run on a treadmill. I used to Terry would make fun of me because I run up and down instead of actually forward propelling myself.
Right.
Yeah. So we couldn't ever do anything together. But in the pandemic, I started actually going outside and now I prefer it.
Oh, see, I would like an outside. I'm an outside person. Like my only form of exercise is usually hiking because it's like an outdoor activity. I will try that.
Okay.
But I thought it was going to be really hard because I usually do the elliptical because my joints are all fucked up. And I'm like, I can kind of run. I'm not like as out of shape as I think I am.
Bride. She's our runaway bride. Okay.
So that's my good week. I'm really patting myself on the back because I'm really bad at exercising.
Very good.
My bad week is my body is falling apart and I pulled my shoulder blade the other day by sneezing. At that point in my life.
You're too young for that.
You're talking to the woman with a broken foot right now.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know what's happening. There's something with my shoulder muscles. I always pull them. And then as it was healing, I sneezed again and re-pulled it.
This is what happens when you get older is that you think, oh my God, I'm never going to ache or be sore or anything.
And it sneaks up on you.
It starts with the shoulder and then you're going to think you have arthritis like me. And then you're going to have a broken foot like Heather.
Keltie was convinced that she had arthritis. She like self-diagnosed herself and then finally found out from the doctor that it wasn't true.
Well, Google's a dangerous thing when it comes to being a doctor. Everyone diagnoses. I mean, Max was in our room the other night telling us her list of what she has.
Oh no.
You're like, your dad's literally a doctor.
Yeah. It's like you could ask your dad.
You know what's funny? They don't go to him for medical advice. They come to me.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I love that.
I'm a Jewish mother.
When you do plastic surgery, you still have to do med, right? First?
It's a very good question. You actually really don't, but the classic way, yes. So he is actually a board certified general surgeon and then went into plastics. So he was in the OR, like in the ER, gunshot wounds and, all that stuff. So he's the real deal. And I like that because you know what? People take elective surgery sort of for granted. They feel like it's getting their hair done or something, but shit happens even in the best of hands. Like, your physiology, something happens. I want someone that can crack my chest open and save my life.
Yep.
Yes.
Boom.
I know. What if you're just good at the one thing and then some shit goes awry and then you're
Or what if you're like a dentist that does facelifts?
And that exists. People are weird. Jack, my whole Canadian family goes to Mexico to get their surgeries. Like this is a very strange thing. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that because it's high cart, very illegal. Okay. Heather, good week, bad week.
Okay. So the bad, can I start with bad? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
All right. The bad part of the week we were away. We were in New York and we did some press and then we went to Aspen with a couple of the kids and because 2 like snow, 2 don't, whatever. We had a very nice time, but we had to get home and Terry had a full day of surgery and it was a disaster. So if you've ever been to Aspen or Vail or any of these small Colorado places, there's like one runway. There's only one way to get in and out, and that is it. And the winds weren't good. And so we couldn't take off and we were waiting. And that was kind of almost good because we had lunch and a cocktail. But then some moron forced their pilot to take off anyway. And everyone's fine. I'm just going to preface this. They crashed. It crashed at the end of the runway. Didn't even get past the runway, and the plane is totaled, but no one got hurt, thank God. But they had closed the airport for the whole day.
Oh no!
So our plane was stuck there. So we ended up having to drive to another airport, which was an hour and 15 minutes away. And as we're driving there, they shut that airport because of the weather. And so then we had to figure out something else. And we had to drive another hour and a half. I mean, literally, we were in the car longer than the flight home.
Oh,
and we had to fly home. And it was stressful. And Terry was not, he's not good with, issues like that.
Oh, was it a private plane?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This Heather Dubrow. You think she's on Southwest? Come on now.
Yeah, I have taken Southwest. Not recently.
Sounds like a Spirit Airlines problem.
I got a drink coupon. I'm in.
She's an A+ member.
Yeah.
Boarding group 1.
That's right. Pay that extra $30.
That's right. So that was the bad part. We did end up making it home, but it was like the longest day in history.
Just so stressful. Yeah.
And then the good thing is I am in sneakers.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Yes. This has been such a journey. We're back. She's okay.
How long has it been?
8 weeks.
Wow.
Thank you.
Applause.
So it's a full 12-week recovery. I have not exercised in 8 weeks. And yes, I realize I could probably do abs or arms or something like that. Hasn't happened.
Nah.
No, I'm an all or nothing kind of person. Yep. I've actually allowed myself to not exercise and to sleep more, which I highly recommend, which I never really realized one actually needs until these last 8 weeks. But anyway, so the great part is my foot is in a sneaker. I'm feeling like definitely the light is at the end of the tunnel.
Congratulations.
What happened? Why did you have to have the surgery?
It's so not sexy. I didn't break my foot. I had a bunion.
Oh my God.
Keltie, you don't have bunions from dancing all those years?
No, I have like a perfect weird foot, which is probably why I was like a semi-okay dancer.
Oh, by the way,
I had a lovely body who just got hired because she was like thin.
That's so good. I would do anything for cute feet. Like if there were plastic surgery for feet, I would like put me on the table, make them the cutest. No, they're just awful feet. But look, God doesn't give with both hands. I have other good things, not everything, but the feet are bad. So anyway, so I had a bunion from all the years of dancing, high heels, cheerleading, whatever it was. Yeah. And then I did have some arthritis. And so they took bone off the top of my toe. And in an even more disgusting moment, I had to have 2 other toes shortened.
What?
Yes.
How do they do that? Do they go in the middle and why would they shorten that sounds like plastic surgery.
They fuse the joint.
That sounds like that was elective.
Yeah.
That sounds like you were like, but while you're in there, do my nose.
Wait, Heather.
By the way, 100%. And I did say, if I need to get the other foot done, I'm going to wait till I need a facelift so I can just do it. Like, what was I thinking to not do anything fun on the table?
I have a question, 2 questions. Well, number one, I have a bunion that I know is just going to keep getting worse. And I'm just like dreading the moment. Cause it's just like, you don't need the surgery, or at least I don't now, but I'm like, I know it's going to, whatever. I'm like terrified of that. 2, are you on Wiki Feet?
Oh, let's look. Let's look right now.
Oh, it's a celeb foot website.
Yeah.
Keltie's on it.
She's got great shoes, so she's going to be on it.
What's that? You show you, is it like a foot fetish thing?
Heather.
Well, it's somebody's foot fetish thing. You don't like add your own pictures, but somebody is adding celebrities.
Oh yeah,
feet.
Heather Dubrow's feet. Here we go. We're gonna get your rating.
My God,
you have a 4-star. Nice.
Oh, is that good?
Nice feet, Heather Dubrow.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 stars.
Well, that's better than I would have thought.
Oh, and look at, they really like have.
You've got a lot of pictures.
They have a lot of pictures of you and your feet. Like when your feet are out, they take your red carpet feet when you're in a strappy sandal, maybe, you know?
I'm surprised they haven't put the jacked up pictures that I posted with like the stitches in. And
oh, yeah.
It was so gross. But my foot actually looks like a foot again, which is
amazing.
I mean, if you've ever had a bunion, it's like a disfigured, hideous thing. It actually, compared to what it was, it could almost be cute.
There you go.
Could almost be cute. The aim of all LadyGang.
5 stars coming soon on Wiki
5
Feet.
stars coming soon. Heather Dubrow, multiple television shows, a towel heater in her bathroom, and a 4 out of 5 star foot on Wiki Feet.
Put it on my Wikipedia
resume
page.
Put it on. Okay, so I have a good week, bad week hybrid. So it was a very exciting week, and I know you have a new show we're going to talk about too, Heather. But I have been working on this show called Superfan with CBS for almost 2.5 years behind the scenes. I left ET and like literally have only sat in my sweatpants for like 2 years. And people are like, are you ever going to get another job? Like,
you're like, I'm working on it.
Yeah. I was like, well, and I couldn't say anything. Right. So it's like that really hard thing when you're working on something so hard behind the scenes, but you can't say anything. So I was really pumped that finally CBS was like, we're going to do the announcement. So they announced it this week. It went out on Deadline, which is like an industry website. I posted on my Instagram. I was so excited. And then I posted in the Facebook group. So that's the good week. The good week is the show's announced. I was so excited. It's here.
And that was like the main thing. It's like you care more about the announcement than the actual show.
Is the show going to get on the air? To be determined.
Unsure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unsure.
You never know.
But I sold it and there it is. And I'm excited about it. So I'm not like as much of a loser as I thought I was.
Wait, by the way, before you continue, I just want to say from someone who's been in this industry a very long time, and for the audience, just to understand, this is a huge deal.
Huge.
Because, people don't understand like, oh, then they have a new show and it takes years to get a show. I mean, Terry had a show called License to Kill for a couple seasons.
Yeah.
He pitched it 8 years before it ever got made. He got no's. And then by the time something actually gets made, and now you add COVID into the mix. And I had shared with you guys, remember, with my talk show thing and how that all got blown up and pushed aside. It is so hard to get, in the best of circumstances, luck, talent, timing, all of it coming together, throw a pandemic in. It's a disaster. This is a huge accomplishment.
Heather.
Huge, amazing kudos to you. I'm so thrilled for you.
Thank you. And you know what? I think that I've been through enough no's in my life that like I can really sit in this yes. And I'm like, okay. And this is what the story is about. So like, obviously good week. I'm like, I'm so excited. I like literally sent my mom a text. I was like, remember how I told you I do have a job, but like you were like, I don't see you on ET anymore. I'm like, I don't work there anymore, Mom. My dad's still watching. He's like, we really miss you on the show. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So anyway, the announcement's out. So then I do the thing that Keltie always does, which was like, I turn the LadyGang on, right? right? And so I know that I'm faking it till I make it, till I die. And so I put the deadline article in our Facebook group, which has like 35,000 members. And I said, hey guys, can everyone like leave a nice comment on this article about how excited you are? And this is something that we do all the time. When Becca had Turner and Hooch, we were like, hey guys, here's
Ignite the group.
Because these are the fans. And like, literally, if you just post it, no one will do it. You need to tell the internet what to do. And the girls love to support us. They're so supportive and they're excited for me, you know? And so it was really great. And like, you know, a normal deadline article, like nobody cares about the deadline article. It's like 4 comments, right? Mine has like 160 comments and it's all like, I can't wait to see Keltie. I love Keltie. Oh my God, I'm a big LadyGanger. Like, it's just all the girls, which I know is stupid and like, whatever. It just made me happy. And I was like, you know what? Maybe deadline will be like, oh, this is not a total loss. You know, I don't know how the world works, but I'm just trying to help myself in any way I can. But the haters, there's always going to be haters. So then the haters start anonymously. It starts to be a Reddit thread on the deadline article that CBS put out. And it's like, nice one, Keltie, begging your fans to come and post comments. Like, I'm totally outed on deadline. It was like, Keltie replying to every comment. Did you comment on deadline? What a loser. Like, all this.
Like, Keltie can't get her own comments, so she has to beg her.
Yeah. And I just want to say this. So that's my bad week. My bad week was like that my fake it to my make it has been outed. But here's the other thing. You cannot take me down, bitches.
Oh.
I am made of Teflon now.
Oh.
Old Keltie, 3 years ago, Keltie, she would be like, oh, what can I change about myself so that you like me? And how can I be more likable? And I'm sorry that, no, it's gone. Sorry, I'm
She's overwhelmed.
I gotta take a drink.
She's choking. I hope that's a beer.
It's not.
The last 2 years of my life have been such a fucking journey. My family has been ill. I've been up and down to Canada. We had the pandemic. Like, so much shit has gone on behind the scenes that the LadyGang has no idea about and the haters have no idea. If you think that you posting for my bosses at CBS to say that I'm a desperate bitch on deadline is going to take me down, you need to work harder. It's not happening.
Woo, mic drop.
That was good.
When we come back, Heather Dubrow has many television shows and haters to talk about.
Today's episode of LadyGang is brought to you by Everlywell. So it's 2022 and technology has gotten us really far in so many different parts of our lives. And did you know that you could use science to discover more about your body all year long? Give yourself more clarity and better understand your health and wellness with Everlywell at-home lab tests. So Everlywell at-home lab tests give you physician-reviewed results and personalized insights so you can take action on your health and wellness all at an affordable and transparent cost. They have over 30 tests. It's insane. And you'll be able to choose the ones that make the most sense for you. They have everything from food sensitivity to metabolism, sleep and stress, and thyroid are just a few of the many options. I actually bought my mom the food sensitivity test because as she's gotten older, she's gotten weird stomach and gut issues, and it's helped her gain clarity about her own body. So for listeners of our show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/lady. That's everlywell.com/lady for 20% off your at-home lab test. Everlywell.com/lady.
Every single LadyGang listener right now, I know you're not eating enough fruit and vegetables. I know right now. This year, it's 2022. We're up in our fruit and veggies games, girls. And that's why we're all keeping our freezers stocked with Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest is the easiest way to get more fruits and veggies into my day every single day. They have harvest bowls, flatbreads that are insane, the smoothies, and so much more, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. And conveniently, it stays in your freezer. So instead of going to the grocery store every week and buying that kale that you're like, I'm going to make a smoothie, and then it just goes rotten and you throw it out and waste that money, you can get Daily Harvest, put it in your freezer and eat it when you're ready. I love the broccoli and cheese harvest bowl, and I also love their flatbreads. They are so insane. They also have like this crazy ice cream that's like delicious for you. Anyway, Daily Harvest makes it easy to feel good about what I'm doing for myself and the planet. Go to dailyharvest.com/lady to get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/lady for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/lady.
Now back to the LadyGang.
All right, we're back. First of all, we got to talk about the e-show because, okay, first of all, explain it, and then I'll explain my portion.
Okay, great. So it's called 7 Year Sitch. by the way, to your point of your show we were talking about earlier, it's been over 2-year process.
Crazy.
It's been stalled so many times to get it to the air. March 1st, 10 o'clock on E.
Yay!
So this is what it is. So we're taking couples in that precarious 7-year. Wait, how long have you guys been together with your people?
Well, this is my.
Okay, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
All right. So we're taking couples in this precarious.
I've got your casting ready.
Yeah. 7-year mark where the honeymoon's over. Real life has set in. Maybe you're looking at that person like, what the did I do? Like, how did I end up with you? But I thought you were all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're doing is we're separating them for 7 weeks.
Oh.
We are doing a full internal, external makeover on them, like body, mind, soul, to make them the best, most confident individual that they can be, with the hopes of bringing them back together and stitching them back together. Now, here's the problem. Sometimes when you make someone the best version of themselves, they realize they don't want to be with that person.
Yeah.
So the question is, it's an experiment. Are we stitching these people back together, or are we accelerating the inevitable split? Because, Terry and I were called couple goals, and, we survived the reality show curse. We've been together 25 years.
Crazy.
And, you have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Good years, bad years, truthfully. Yes. And it's how you get through all of it. But we'll have people saying to us, oh, well, if I had their money, I'd be fine too. I just want to say it has nothing to do with money, but it does have to do with resources. And so what we thought was maybe we can help people here, and we can open up our Rolodexes and use our resources and help other couples.
Oh my God. I love this so much. I didn't realize that you guys separated each other.
Yeah. I thought it was just, you do it all. I didn't realize they were going away. So like, are all the ladies, or all like one side of the couple, I guess, are together? Are they all together in a house getting ready? Or are they
No.
by themselves?
This is one couple at a time.
Okay.
One couple at a time, and, gay, straight, like we met with all kinds of couples. And it was really interesting because the way the show started was, so Terry and I have written 3 books together. And the second book we wrote was called The Dubrow Diet. And we took this couple and we had them on E! News, and we were going to put them on the diet, like before and after. Look how great they look. Isn't this amazing? And we started like going in their house and cleaning out their refrigerator and meeting their kid and hearing about their lives, and realized it was so much more than that. Like, what was the root of what was going on with this couple? And so we really did a deep dive with them. And that was one of the germs of this show.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is going to be a huge success. LadyGang, we have our LadyGang TV Watchers Facebook club. We're going to make this a must watch. And
can you please whore yourself out, by the way, for the show?
I will.
Would you mind? You know how you do that for you?
On Deadline? This looks great. Heather Dubrow had to go on the LadyGang podcast and ask people to comment on you. Do you think anyone in Hollywood isn't desperate? Live your life.
Wait, I have questions about the show. Like, did you end up seeing like things with the couple that were like so shocking and unbelievable? Did you kind of like assume that you'd kind of like bring people together, or like maybe they'd separate? Like, did anything crazy happen?
A lot of crazy things happen. And I have to say, not the couple that you're going to see on March 1st, but like there was another couple where there was like a huge gambling problem and she had no idea.
Oh, like
all
secret,
this crazy stuff. And it is very interesting, and it makes you sort of look at, if you're in a relationship, it makes you look at your own relationship. If you're not and you're searching, you might change your list, because, one of the things that I find so interesting is like people meet and they fall in love. And if they're going to go get married or something, they talk about the flowers and, the venue and all this stuff. And no one ever like compares FICO scores or, finds out if they have credit issues or if they've been in rehab or jail or, it's like crazy.
It really is like, anyway, so here's my thought. I really should have applied for this because when I knew it was coming, because we had talked about it like a couple years ago, and then I hit 10 years of like being with my husband, and then we just hit 8 years of marriage. So now I'm too late, but that's
You're still in the area.
I know. I feel like whatever.
Age range.
Also, we were just in LA Mag and they said I was 38, which I'm not. So live your life. It's Hollywood.
I wonder who told them.
Me. But here's my thing, Heather, is that 7 year, it really is real. What is that? Because I hated Chris Knight our entire 7th year of marriage.
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't know. I honestly think that's what it is. I think that sort of the bloom and the glow of all the firsts have, kind of like you've settled into it. It feels like, wow, that's it. You're it. And I think that couples get complacent with each other. I think you stop dating each other and you stop, courting and all of that. And that takes a toll. I think one of the things that Terry and I have done really well is, and also being lucky, that's a huge part of it, being lucky, growing together. But I think one of the things that we've done really well is put our relationship first.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the kids, like we make sure we have date night, we take time alone together. That is just very, very important.
So
you can tell you guys are still like kind of sexy and into each other.
Yeah.
We have fun.
So obviously not everybody can be.
He outed like this. We were on, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jack, but we were on Wendy Williams last week. We were in New York for a couple of days. And it was Valentine's Day. Anyway, so we were on the show and they were like, they asked some question about what we did for Valentine's Day. I guess it was the next day. And I thought he was going to say we had lunch at, Restoration Hardware. We took a walk. He's like, oh, well, there's this couch. And I threw my hand over his mouth. I was like, why are you telling what just happened? Oh my God.
I love because he's like, I still get it.
And it was good.
Yeah. Oh, it's sexual. I love it.
I know.
No, my question was going to be, obviously not everybody that is going through this in their relationship can go on the show. So say somebody's listening and they're like, that's me. Like that's my relationship. What advice would you have that's like easy to implement? Would you give to somebody that's like kind of going through this that doesn't have like all these resources?
I would say, first of all, you have to learn to let it go because there's probably huge resentment that everyone holds on to. And it's really, honestly, most of it is just not worth it.
Yeah.
And then you have to find a way to fight better. Really, really important. One of the tips I always give to people is go on a hike. Jack, I'm sure you can relate to this, but it's like when you are standing and arguing with someone and you are planted and the energy is just going straight into the other person, it can get super mean.
Yeah.
And you can end up saying and doing things that you don't want to. So if you're out on the trail and your blood is pumping and the energy is going out and that whole thing, it's so much better for you. So we've had a thing over the years where if we have an argument and we need to get something out, we will go for a hike and leave it on the trail. Like you have from point A to point B to work it out. And whatever happens at the end, we're done. We're leaving it on the trail and we're not talking about it anymore. So you have to find better ways to fight and you have to find better ways to love. You've got to find what you love about that person again.
That's such a good piece of advice with the hiking. It's so true.
Leave it on the trail.
Yeah.
Because when you're fighting with the person that you love, I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving you tomorrow, but I need you to hear me. And so we're going to get into it right now. I still love you. I'm coming home to you tonight. I love the idea of like taking that energy out. See, Heather Dubrow.
And I feel like if you're fighting kind of like in a circle, and then you kind of do this thing where you're taking yourself out of the element, you'll start to feel stupid if you continue to do that. So it probably like literally brings everybody back down a peg into what they're fighting about. I love that so much.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. And then, so how was it for you guys working together on TV again? Like, cause you're executive producing, right? And
it was great. I mean, we have a great time. Look, some people, play golf together. Some people, have their hobbies, whatever. We like to work. So, that's why we write the books together and we have our skincare line and, we do all these kinds of things. And we're always talking about content and shows and things because we love television, and we just love it. And we love being creative and it's fun for us to do together.
And then the last thing I wanted to know about the show. So you mentioned an inner and outer makeover. So are we getting like under the knife with Dr. Dubrow?
Yeah, well, some people will. And I'm glad you brought that up because it's not the swan. We're not saying get plastic surgery and we're going to give you a beautiful makeover and then you're going to be in love with your person again. It doesn't work that way. But if there's something about you, let's say, you've had several children and
you're insecure about something.
Your stomach is all stretched out and you don't want to be intimate with your person anymore. It's like those kinds of things. If you fix those things and they feel good about themselves, that fixes that issue.
Right.
And maybe the other partner's resentful because this one doesn't want to have sex and this one is resentful because they don't get it. And that solves a lot of problems right there. It's not like, hey, I want a facelift so I look good and then you'll love me. Forget that. That doesn't work. But it's all about confidence.
I think that's true. And we hear that from LadyGang girls so much, especially what you're saying, like after a big weight loss or after they have kids and their boobs and their gut and like whatever that is. And you're like, you're not standing there in your teddy with your heels on, feeling like your best self, and it is so important, that confidence. And when you don't have it, it really is detrimental. Like even me laying in bed now that I have I always now have a little bit of a chin thing. Like I'll be like reading and then I'm like having a conversation with Chris and I'm like pulling the blanket up because I just don't want to have, because even though we've been together so much and I know this is my person, I still want him to think I'm sexy. Like I still see him on Instagram seeing models and I know that this isn't my, so I think it's a great idea.
Well, I just like the way that you explained it because back to how you were talking about the show in the beginning, it's kind of like hitting the root of the problem and not putting a Band-Aid over something. It's not like somebody's like, I don't like my nose and a nose job would fix my entire relationship with myself and my person. It's like kind of figuring out, does this affect all of the other parts of your relationship and kind of
and they're going to therapy. Separately. And we found a way, even though they're separated, to get them together for some therapy sessions, which is amazing. I mean, like I said, total internal, external.
I love this so much. That's such a fantastic idea.
I know. And even a fantastic idea like this, she had to hustle for years and years and years to get on there. So it's it's just so crazy. So let's all support Heather on this. I do want to ask you one more thing before I go to the second act of this show, which is about housewives. I saw on your Instagram the other day, you posted a picture of you act, from your set when you were actress. And I was just wondering, with Kyle Richards, kind of revamping that part of her life and doing the movies again. I know that she was part of that when she was a kid, but have you thought about doing real acting back?
Yeah, it's a good question. I did a few guest stars over the years and pilots that didn't go and that kind of thing. But, so here's the thing. That picture that I posted was from a CBS show I had called That's Life that I starred in. It was a super fun show. And Paul Sorvino was my dad and Ellen Burstyn played my mom and Debbie Mazar was my best friend. It was an amazing, Kevin Dillon was my brother. Amazing cast, insane experience. But I was working 15 to 17 hours a day on a set, which was crazy. And so, but I loved every second of it.
Sure.
But then when that show got canceled, I got pregnant soon after with the twins. So I had 4 kids in 7 years, took, obviously a bit of a break, and then got into this crazy reality show and started on a whole different path. And so even though I've done things since then to go back fully into that world, I mean, maybe in the next couple of years, from today forward, I would say, but in the last several years, I just, I want to be there for my family. So I've really tried to curate the things that I do in the periods of time where they're at school, or they're away, they're at camp, whatever it is. I really want to do that because I didn't have them to miss it. And I'm not judging anyone that works full time or is on a set 17 hours a day. People manage to make it work. And I am hugely respectful of that. Just for me in particular, I feel like I did it full time and then I did it part time. I did the full time mom thing, stay at home mom. And then I've done the balance. I've kind of done a little bit of both. So I'm just sort of going with the flow, but I got 2 kids leaving in the fall to go to college. Katarina is going to be a sophomore in high school in the fall, and Coco's going to middle school. So, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah. Wow. All right. When we come back, I need to talk to Ms. Dubrow. Even in the best schools, your child probably isn't getting the one-to-one teaching they need to reach their full potential. In a classroom with dozens of kids, teachers just don't have time to customize their approach. And my mom's a teacher or was a teacher, so I really know this. At Byju's Future School, students receive personalized attention in a world-class learning experience with completely online classrooms to supplement their in-person school education. Byju's math and music courses help build a foundation of knowledge and self-confidence. They also have a coding course where students can explore the fundamentals of coding through their favorite games like Minecraft. And they have tons of fun while learning about the technology that makes modern games, apps, and cryptocurrencies possible. And yeah, if you don't think your child is going to be involved in cryptocurrencies, oh God, the future is coming. Right now, Byju's Future School is offering our LadyGang listeners their first class free. Just go to byjus.com/podcast to sign up for your first class absolutely free. That's byjus.com/podcast.
Today's episode of Lady Gang is brought to you by Redecor. Oh my gosh, we've got the best game for you that's like perfect for, 30s Lady Gangers, and it's called Redecor. So if you're like me, you love the idea of wanting to redecorate your space, but wouldn't it be great if you could see your interior design ideas really come to life without having to do it in person? Give Redecor a try. It's an interior decorating mobile game that is so much fun to play. It's a design app and a mobile game in one. It's a place to play, explore designs, find inspiration, and connect with others who share your passion for home decor. And the graphics are so realistic and detailed, you're able to customize every single piece of the room. It is amazing. And they even got style guides with tips, tricks, and advice for decorating. So you can really test out your creativity and practice your interior design skills and express your creativity with Redecor. Download Redecor for free on the App Store or Google Play Store. That's REDECOR on the App Store or Google Play Store.
You're listening to the Lady Gang.
All right, Heather, I have so many things to talk about. First of all, it is so good to see you back on Housewives. Yeah. Are you over it already? Are you still like, you're not going to say this on the Lady Gang podcast, but like, have you been enjoying it, or is it just PTSD the whole time?
I think it's all of it, honestly. When I came back, they made a big fanfare of the whole thing, and here she is. And I was very like relaxed going into the season. I obviously couldn't plan what happened, and truth is stranger than fiction and all of that. But, it's been a little bit of a journey. It's exhausting. There were several moments in the season I was like, I am too old for this. I just don't know. I mean, it's literally exhausting. It's such a full-time job on top of the other things that I do that it was a lot. But one of the reasons that we came back, and one of the major reasons we came back, which I think you and I have discussed before, is, when Max came out a couple of years ago as bisexual, we got flooded with comments and, lovely comments and not so nice comments. And then also, people who were estranged from their kids, people whose kids had taken their own lives because they didn't have a safe place to come out. And I was like, you know what? We got these 4 kids. They're different genders, different sexualities, different crossroads in their lives with school and decisions and all these things. Maybe we can come on and show what our family looks like and maybe start conversations in other people's homes. So that was very important to me. I had no idea and we had a family meeting and the whole thing, but I had no idea that Katerina was going to talk about being a lesbian. I mean, I knew she was, but I didn't know she was going to talk about it. It wasn't like a plan or a
plot line.
Yeah. Because I've got some comments like, why would you bring that on as a storyline? Like, I don't have a storyline. This is my life. You're coming to film it. Here's what's going on. We have an edible garden in the side of the house, and Kat always wanted to change. Yeah, it's really good. There's mint in there for like your drinks.
Edible garden.
So we have an
edible garden these days, Jack?
Yeah, I have dead plants in my apartment.
Okay.
So and she wanted to change one to flowers. So we went out there and it was just supposed to be like a cute gardening thing. And then, she brought that up, and I'm so proud of it. So I guess that was a long answer, but the short answer is, with all the bullshit, and I know you're going to follow this up with other questions, so I'll explain what I mean by the inauthenticity of some things that happen. Even with all of that, I'm so proud of watching my kids on there and seeing them make a difference and hearing all the comments, even with the not nice ones. Most of them are so encouraging and helpful and thankful to us for starting these conversations and having these conversations, that it was worth it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, okay. So the difference, I think, between first round and this round is that when you first were on Housewives, it was before people knew how to be a housewife. It was like early Bachelor.
Yeah.
Where you just came on and you just were yourself and that was it. And now people have watched and consumed so many of these shows that new cast members come on with like an agenda, and they literally have, they have their paper and they're like, I am this, and this is what makes me interesting as a person. And I'm going to blow
you're
that
writing
up.
your own character.
You're writing your own character.
So weird.
It's very strange, but I think Andy and the entire team behind Housewives is going to really realize, because I think they're being called out and I think people are revolting against those kind of characters. We want the authenticity. I want the highs and the lows. Like, I don't want someone that has done a great Housewives audition and then is like a great housewife. Like, that's not what makes these stories compelling. It is the authenticity and, like, I don't know. There's some fakies on your show, and
I agree.
I'm not a big fan.
Who are you not a big fan of?
I'm not a Noella fan.
Yeah.
And I've said this to you privately, but I'll say it to you. Like, sometimes I'm watching, I was like, ooh. I guess the thing is it just feels so rehearsed, and I'm like,
well, it is. Have you seen any of her interviews? She says, I've watched every episode of every franchise. I grew up on this show. She's been very open about all of that. And, it'll come out in the reunion, what she said, like, behind the scenes. It was crazy. And as a cast member, it's incredibly frustrating, especially when she's making up stories about me.
Right. And you're like, what is happening?
And then you feel gaslighted. And at some point you're like, wait, did I do that? Like, am I insane?
Yeah, it's very, very strange. And then there's also this, like, this thing that's this keeping up with the Joneses. Like, I love all women and I'm a big supporter of all women, but there's, like, some depth there, like some missing, like, I don't want to be too mean here, but it's like, I don't believe that sweetjames.com makes enough money for you to have not understand that you need a passport to go to Mexico. Like, I don't think sweetjames.com makes enough money to have a full-time private jet. Like, if the lights weren't off, that you were like, how are we affording this? Like, to me, that's bananas. Like, I'm just, that's where it gets so weird for me.
Well, I mean, I can't talk about a lot of that stuff because I think it's all going to come out at the reunion. But what I will say is I agree with you. And the audience has a bullshit meter.
Yes.
And they don't like it. I don't like it. And neither does the network. But sometimes when you hire someone, you're not fully cognizant of what they're going to do or say, and you feel like things are going to work. But that's why I keep saying that this is a very transitional season. Now, listen. You brought me back in. I'm one person, right? But if you got a company that's not doing well, what do you do? Number one, you cut the dead weight. Okay. So they did that last season, right? Fired half the cast. Number two, you bring on new people, you start building a foundation and you work hard. And then you hope that in the future, you're going to have that success, right? That's what you do with a company, but you have to rebuild. What I would tell you is I think this has been a very transitional season. And by the end of the season, there are some super solid, really connected friendships, which is the framework, which I think people felt was missing in the show. But that's why this was a transitional year. And there's still a lot of great stuff that happens in the second half of the season. I wish they would show more of the fun because there was really a lot of fun in Cabo and stuff that they didn't show. But I think the audience will be happy by the end of the season. I really do. And I think that as far as next season goes, that the people that aren't being authentic probably won't be back.
Right. Ooh. Well, I think it's interesting. Like, I also think the pandemic has changed the way that we consume our, and I mean this like with all the love in my heart, like our shitty TV. Do you know what I mean? Like I mean that like as a compliment. Yeah. Like, this is not a documentary on the science of like how Earth circles. You know what I mean? This is like, these are my friends that I sit down with a margarita and watch and eat peanut butter cups with.
Yeah, it's like your therapy.
It's your therapy. Yeah. These are your friends. And this is comfort food. That's what you are to us, you know? And I think that there's a lot of the different Housewives franchises, like Salt Lake was, by the end of Salt Lake this season, it was almost unbearable to watch. Like, it was just so much fighting. It was so much anger. It was so much girl on girl, just like bullshit. And I was like, but are they even friends? And I think what you said, Heather, is so interesting. Like, you have to have that friendship and the fun. And then, yes, it's going to be dramatic and there's going to be a leg thrown here and there. But like, I think without the friendship, it's too hard on my brain.
I agree. And I think, we like the petty bullshit. She broke the bow off my cake. You're sitting in my chair. Why'd you look at me funny? I bought those shoes first. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want. Because let's face it, like that's the stuff that actually stupidly happens in real life. And then every once in a while, something real happens and it lands and you feel it. And then you go back to the petty stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we're missing. But I think for this season, it was hard for me, especially when so much BS was being thrown around that like you couldn't even track what was going on, that nothing else happened because of it.
Here's what I love about you, Heather, though, is that I was actually thinking about you in the bath yesterday, which is like a thing to say. Sure. But I was like, oh, I get to see Heather tomorrow. It's like, you're able, you're like the mature one. And I know you are mature.
Does that mean the old one? Because it probably...
No, it's not that. It's like you are an excellent example about how you can have a boundary and be pissed and be like, I'm out of this dinner party. Like I'm out. Shut the camera off, like whatever. But you never get you get mad, but you never get like bananas. You know what I mean?
Well, according to one person, I did.
I don't think that's true. Or maybe it's for my take. And I mean, I think I just think you're good at being like, okay, like I feel, I don't know. That's not that was not my best work as a podcast.
You're fired. One of the things I have on my whiteboard is be less reactive. Because when you're in your 20s and your 30s and you're like, everything's really important. Yeah. And you're really like, it's like Keltie is like what you were talking about before. Like you've changed in the last 3 years. Like, I don't know if I'm really at the place of no fucks given, but I'm much better than I used to be. And the trolls and everything, like that doesn't affect me. And even when stuff happened on the show, it's like, I knew at the end of the day that I get to go home. Yeah. I don't mean like home to this house. I mean, like, I get to go home to my life. And whether someone believes me or not, or likes me or doesn't like me, the reality of my life is very satisfying and very complete. And so I think when you have that, you can step away from it.
Oh, exactly. So true. Yeah. I have a mantra actually that I've been using for the last couple of years. I am safe. I am healthy. I am loved. And so when the world and show business and oh my God, is this deal going to go through? Or like, does someone hate me on Instagram or whatever? Like, I just sit and I'm like, okay, I'm safe. Like I live in a safe place. Yep. I'm taking, like, I can get whatever I need. I can get, I'm healthy. Like health has been such a problem in my life these last few years. And like, I'm healthy and like, I'm loved. Like it doesn't matter who hates you on the internet. Heather Dubrow goes home. Her husband loves her. Yeah. Like, she's a great mom to her kids and she can go and move to her Mexican villa and never see any of you motherfuckers again. Yeah. Goodbye. Like that's she can turn off all her social media tomorrow. She's doing you a favor by allowing us to be a part of your life.
Welcome.
You're welcome, Earth. I'm allowing you into my magical world, but don't take that for granted because I can shut that off and goodbye. Yeah. You won't know about my towel warmer.
It's so funny because I see those things like at the beginning, they're like, oh, I can't wait to see your house and I want to see your lifestyle. And then a month later, it's like, I can't believe she's such a show off, showing off her house and where she's going. I'm like, pick a lane, man.
No, the house is amazing. Actually, this is the last question I want to ask. It's on my list. I meant to ask it on the first part, but live my life. I want to know what the bougie people are doing in their houses right now because Jac's going to get married and buy a house. She's looking right now. And, I'm in a renovation.
I know. By the way, I've been following your renovation.
I'm getting the marbles being installed today.
All right. So but didn't I tell you no marble? Didn't we have this conversation?
So I was she did. I was doing like what countertops. Heather has amazing taste. So she's like, and she was like, don't do it. It's going to get ruined, whatever. And then like, I did the opposite of what everyone, but here's the thing, Heather, I don't cook.
Yeah. By the way, me either.
Shit.
Here's the thing about
you're gonna spill something on it.
Of course. Here's the thing about marble. You can't put anything with acid on it. So if it's milk, you spill a drop of milk, there's a stain. And you're like me and you're very detail oriented. There's going to be a glare from the window that hits the countertop in such a way and you're going to see the stain and no one else will see it but you. But here's the thing. It's fine.
The fake stone's so
wow.
I would say quartz or porcelain, but I will say this. There is nothing more beautiful than natural stone. So my advice to you now is enjoy your natural stone. don't be so worried about it because something will stain it.
Yeah.
And don't look when the light comes in from the corner and reflects on it. Let it go.
Well,
It's fine.
Yours is like very textured and colored and
it has
kind of
like
imperfect.
there's like a lot of, I'm going to show you when it comes in.
I saw it.
Yeah, it's going to be
She's like, no,
it kind of looks already like it has coffee stains. No, I definitely
Have you not seen mine with all the veins in it?
What are bougie people putting in their house? Like what? Because we only saw
the trends.
We only saw a small bit on Housewives. Like you have the towel warmer.
Well, the towel warmer is the ultimate thing.
And then the pull-out drawer thing.
I don't know anyone that has towel warming drawers besides myself. I'm sure some people do, but I've never met anyone that's done it. So right outside the shower, and you have to make sure the shower door opens in the correct direction. You don't have to walk around the door. I know that sounds insane, but the door has to open properly so you can get right to the towel drawer. So we have 2 towel drawers that are heated, and some people will do that bar, the heated bar. The heated bar sucks. Don't ever get the heated bar. It's like you have a stripe of warmth somewhere. Don't do it.
Oh yeah.
So 2 drawers, and so there's 4 towels in there. It is like literally the best thing on the planet. I could more tell you what not to do in the house.
Okay.
I would never do a built-in steaming oven again. I would never do a built-in coffee maker again. I would never do, I don't even like Insta-Hot. It's not hot enough.
I don't even know what that is.
It's when you can turn the tap on and it's instant hot water.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like a little thing next to the sink, and one is filtered water and one is Insta-Hot. But I like weirdly very hot.
You're that bitch at Starbucks. You're the reason I burned my tongue.
That's me. Yes.
I'm like, I'll get that
So my mom
coffee
is.
with like 2
Ice
I'll
cubes.
get the tea with 2 ice cubes in it. You dick.
That's me. I like it very hot, I have to say.
Well, we really want to come over.
Come over anytime.
Letting you know. I want to like the whole tour. I want
my God, I would
Gina my
die.
whole
Let's
life.
do this. You guys come when Becca gets back from maternity leave. Oh my God. First of all, congratulations to Becca. I texted her, but I'm thrilled for her. I was waiting for the announcement. I was so excited.
I know. We're just like, I think it's going to be a really cool journey for her, obviously, because she's a mom now, but for like us too. Like I'm so excited to be, I was pretty emotional about the baby.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just such a long process for her. So it's so exciting that it finally happened.
Okay. When Becca comes next time, she's in LA.
Come down to the house. I'll give you a tour. We'll record my podcast in here. You guys come on my show.
Perfect.
And we'll drink champagne.
A full Nobu dinner, and Chef Nobu will come. That's what you did.
Whatever. You'd probably rather have Chef Nick. He's tall and he's really good looking. And
amazing.
Love Chef Nick.
Okay. LadyGang. There's so many ways that we can love and support Heather. Obviously, you already follow her at Heather Dubrow on Instagram. Real Housewives of OC is on Wednesdays, and March 1st, 7 Year Sitch on E, Heather Dubrow's World Podcast, our podcast one sister right here. Never too many photos of you in your own podcast studio, you fucking bitch, Noella. And we're so excited for you. Congratulations on the new show, and we will see you next Tuesday. Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social at Keltie, at Becca, at Jac Vanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday.